Hello everyone, welcome back to another playthrough video. Here we're going to do a little bit something different. Instead of a deck I've built, I'm going to be taking what's going to be kind of the first premier event winner for Lorcana here. I think there's a Denver event hosted by Pro Play Games, PPG, and the winner was a Amber Steel deck. It used a Stitch to get ahead really fast there and kind of take over the game, use a lot of early questers to get a lot of lore, and Whole New World is a really good engine to kind of abuse there, letting you refill your hand to get some of the control decks. And I think I didn't get to watch the full event there, but I think the final game was decided where I think they're playing against a Ruby Amethyst deck, and they Whole New Worlded and they made them discard a couple Be Prepareds, and that was more than they could really handle there. So let's dive right in. We have Lilo, Stitch, Captain Hook, Simba as our one-drop cards, as well as Goons, which I haven't really been a fan of playing too many one-cost cards. We're going to play this deck as is, as you can see on the screen here. A lot of interesting choices, a couple copies of Lantern, only 3 of each of the Tinkerbells, 4 Grab Your Sword, 4 Whole New World, and Be Our Guest as the song targets for Ariel 3 to kind of hit off of its ability when you play it. But no, looks pretty clean, looks pretty aggressively slanted there. Going to be questing a lot early on. So without further ado, let's kind of get into the games here and see how it goes. Just have it listed as PPG winner. I'm going to make sure that the screen is the appropriate setting or size there once I get in game here. But no, hope you guys are having a good weekend. But yeah, looks like an interesting deck. I do like what's going on here. It was recently announced, if you haven't checked it out already, on the Lost Boys Twitter account. I think it's at the Lost Boys. There is a 5K that's being held by Apex Gaming there at their main location, I believe in Caldwell, Ohio. I'll be going to in October 22nd or 20th and 22nd are the ones at the dates there, I think. But no, look forward to playing in that. I think there's the current Magic World Champion playing, and a few other high-profile players, Luna, former Hearthstone World Champion, and me, just a guy. But no. Let's get to the games here. Now, I like a lot of what's going on. I think I might want to keep the whole hand. There's enough inkables. There's 2 uninkables, but Lantern kind of gets a little bit of a pass on that. And Grab Your Sword with Ariel is nice. So let's just keep the whole hand. I don't want to get too greedy. I don't want to ever really throw away some inkables when if I ever keep an uninkable, I don't want to throw away an uninkable, or vice versa. If I ever keep inkables, I don't want to throw uninkables away. But yes, in the instance where we draw another one like that. But Lilo here, I need to be able to make sure I check a Simba immediately. So let's ink the Goons, I believe. Actually, let's ink the Be Our Guest, because there's a chance I go ink whenever I draw Lantern, play out Goons from that, and to continue to pressure the Lilo here, because they're trying to take an early advantage from this. We're playing against a mirror match. Glad we can see our hand in the hand cam. Got that figured out. Last video I had a little bit of an issue the first game. And wasn't too fun, but hey. Here we are. But no, I'm pretty excited. It's going to be a 5K event there. Again, the 20th and 21st, I believe, of October. So we got a little bit of time, a little bit over a month to go. But I'm very excited to be playing a competitive event here. All right, let's ink our Be Our Guest. I think I'm going to do just the play I mentioned there, where I go Lantern into Goons. I'll kind of develop my board and set up for later turns. Not questing here. Obviously, don't want to have the Aurora eat my Captain Hook for breakfast, though I'm about to eat some breakfast of myself here. It is Labor Day here in Florida. Nice little day off to kind of do a video or two. But yeah, I like what's going on here. This deck does feel pretty coherent. It's a little high on the uninkable count for my typical like. It has the 8 songs at the higher cost. It has the 4 Lilos and the Lanterns, so that's 15 uninkables, a little bit higher than I'm used to, but I'm kind of playing it as is just to see. Ariel's an interesting one. They're playing Sapphire and Amber here, so not too many ways to abuse too heavily. Now, we've drawn a lot of the songs we'd like to hit off Ariel, but hey, what can you do? All right, no hits there, but that's okay. Put them back to the bottom. I'm not really worried about the order here. I'm going to quest with the Goons. It entices their Ariel to attack. And if that's the case, then my Ariel can finish off with Whole New World. And if the Aurora trades, that's also fine with me. I could hold back because they might see this for what it is, as a Grab Your Sword being played. But since I didn't reveal anything off the Ariel, they might not play around it as much. But I'm not sure what song they're really looking to sing besides maybe a Let It Go with this. They probably have Let It Go, Be Our Guest, and I guess the one jump ahead is also that. But they played right into it. Got to always make sure you understand what your opponent's doing with their plays there. And this, I think it could have told a little bit if you had thought about what that meant on that turn, since I wasn't willing to make that exchange with an Aurora for a hook earlier. The one questing lure there, so always be conscious of what they're doing and what that means for you. But it looks like they're kind of a princess theme here. All right, Stitch, while not the most fun to always unink, I'm gonna ink it anyway. I don't like to miss my drops, especially with a whole new world in hand. I'll be relying more on that than anything else. So let's ink this here. Can't do anything, unfortunately, even with this extra cost or the extra ink resource, but hey, what can you do? We're one off from being able to play either of these, which again, a little awkward there, but I felt like we had to do that to really kind of stop their board development. Yeah, that's probably the worst case scenario. That's one of the cards I'm interested in this deck not playing. I get that you don't have too much toughness, too much willpower, I should say, as far as wanting to heal back up with Rapunzel. Ooh, they decided to hit there. I don't quite understand that, but hey, what can you do? They wanted to keep it from having 1 point of damage on it. Okay. Let It Go as a song target for their aerial, so I'm guessing they have Be Our Guests, that, and yeah. So let's ink this out. I'm going to have as much resources as I can for this whole new world. The Rapunzel wasn't too big of a deal because of that, because we have whole new world. And I can't really waste time on Grab Your Sword here, and especially since it will kill this, but it'll put some damage on here to where another copy of Rapunzel would be pretty devastating. So we're going to have 5 ink to their 5 ink, 7 cards. 7 cards where we get act first is the big deal. Captain Hook, Smash, sure. All right, a lot of low-cost cards, which is fine. I don't really like playing Simba out here, but I think I have a couple cards I don't really care too much about in this hand, like the Goons, really, which I want to find something more impactful. All right, so I'm going to discard Goons and probably going to play Tinkerbell and Eric out. Kind of get the ball rolling as far as pressure goes, because we're playing more of a control role here, though they kind of got the jump on us with the Lilo Aurora start. But yeah, I really like having 4 of the big Tinkerbells in these type of decks just because it is such a powerful card. Lets you plan your turns pretty well, and no inclusion of Fire the Cannons is understandable, but I do like the cheap removal spells with Whole New World. It lends it to being a bit more robust as far as what you can do as far as cleanup goes, because in this situation I would love to be able to fire the cannons at for 1 here instead of playing out a Simba. Just an example. Not saying I'm right, wrong, but just something I'm thinking about while I'm playing these games just to see what could be good. All right, it looks like they just have a high quest count. And there's speak of the devil there kind of thing. Tinkerbell. So let's cheapen the cost of shift here. We get to hit everything for 1. We get to shoot down this Rapunzel with the attack and then shoot down the Jasmine, I should say. Because I'm going to use Simba to trade against the Jasmine. And we should have... I guess we don't have enough ink, but I'm going to crush this Mickey. It's going to be crushed. Devastated, really. All right, so that's why Tinkerbell's really good. As I just mentioned, wanting to have 4 Tinkerbells in this deck. I don't know if there's an availability issue. I don't know any of the details regarding the event itself. But yeah, Tinkerbell is a card I expect every sealed deck to be playing 4 of from my early analysis of the game. It's not the greatest against some of the Ruby Amethyst decks, but it still is, even there, very good. You just probably don't play it out early to shift into. You play it just as a 6-cost card, because shift is inherently a card disadvantage. You're going down a card. You're throwing away your card that's already in play to get something up bigger for cheaper. So with that inherent disadvantage you got to have a good reason for it. So, yep. Now Grab Your Sword. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm just going to clear the board again. Let's use this to sing. Use this to crush. And look, we don't even need the lantern here. Start getting ahead. So as you can see, this deck pretty good at churning through its cards here. We whole new worlded, drew a bunch of cards, and were able to make use of pretty much all of them pretty quickly. They've not been able to fully deploy their hand out, and their playing colors don't have a sweeper effect like Be Prepared. So our advantage is pretty cemented. And being steel or being a sapphire and amber, there's no kind of rush card that really helps you get back into it. Yeah, they're just having to let it go here, which gives you 2 ink if you shot a shifted character. If you let it go a shifted character, you get both. So that's important to note. Here we're just going to quest a bunch and then play Stitch out. I could maybe wait to have something to pair it with so they don't let it go again. But if they're spending the whole turn to really let it go, then I think we're doing all right. Now everything in our deck is pretty live as far as a draw. LeFou is a nice one. So is Lilo. I see what they're kind of doing. They're just kind of playing out all the quests for 2 plays here. Man, if we draw another Tinkerbell or something like that. All right, well, we're going to use this one to draw and discard since Lantern number 2 has no effect. And we do find something to draw off of. Select this as the ability. Oh, hey, look, another Stitch. I'm going to challenge here. Just kind of get the bonus there of the challenge front side. Quest for a bunch. And kind of not shift, just play it on top of its own self there. Stitch is great. Stitch the Rockstar is one of my favorite cards, probably my favorite card, I'd say. As far as not even power level, just it's a cool card. I love Stitch. He's my favorite Disney character. Favorite Disney character, Stitch. Favorite Disney movie, the first Aladdin. Not that we acknowledge the other 2, but hey, we could. For those wondering, if you haven't already told me, either in person or in the comments, let me know what your favorite Disney character is and favorite Disney movie. They don't have to be from the same thing, you know. All right, supported Hey Hey helps LeFou take down at Prince Eric. Goodbye, Eric. We hardly knew thee, and looks like we're going to close out here with some Stitch quests. Stitch is questing for 3. That's a ton, but yeah, nice deck. It came through pretty nicely. I think that we were able to take advantage of really some of their non-early game plays, but some of their non-interaction. And that aerial trade when they attacked to the goons early, they're really kind of told what kind of changed how the game was going to go, since I got to grab your sword and really keep a big advantage going. But let's play another game here. All right. But no, I do expect there to be a lot of metagame shifts. A lot of people were concerned early on about the Ruby Amethyst deck being kind of too prevalent, but it's really not something to concern yourself with. A lot of the aggressive decks are going to show up, kind of put the deck in its place at some point, and kind of just have a metagame there develop. I'm keeping the whole hand again with the number of uninkables we do have in the deck. I like keeping a bunch of ink. And these cards are pretty good. Ariel helps dig to our later game plays here as well. So, sorry if you can hear anything in the back there. My cats are wanting to come inside. They do miss me. I am their best friend, after all. All right. So I think we're going to lead on Captain Hook. I kind of missed with the inks there, a little distraction, but don't need 2 Stitches. I don't think we're going to be able to utilize that. And there's a chance that we want to Simba, but I doubt it. But likely just going to ink it next turn. Captain Hook down. Captain Hook, one of the best 1-drop cards in the game, probably the best one. Being able to trade with 3 willpower characters is really something that can't be overstated when it comes to it. They did ink a Beast Mirror, that's what it was. Okay. All right, so let's quest here for 1. I think I'm just going to play my other cards out that cost 1. I could hold this one till after a Stitch comes down. I think that might be better. So let's do that here and ink a Smash. Or I'd use it as ink for Ariel if I don't draw something that I'd rather ink. I'd just hold this for that. It's always good to be conscious of what you want to ink the following turns. I could just play out my cards here, but I'm really not doing much with this. It doesn't really. It's just a one character or a 1 power, 2 willpower character with 1 lower. It doesn't really do too much. All right, I'm gonna play this out here and play out the Ariel. No hits there, but that's fine. And we're going to quest again. All right, what we got here. So Stitch is looking a little far off, but Ariel missing. Digs us a bit deeper. Of course, our next draw is going to be a song for sure. So maybe our guest on top, I would guess. And smash. All right, Ariel getting smashed. So they're getting pretty empty-handed. So I grab your sword, or not grab your sword. Whole New World is not looking too hot right now, but it's something we wouldn't mind having at some point. Let's ink quest here, and I'm kind of wanting to save some of my stronger cards for later in the game, but let's actually just do this first. So I'm going to draw this. It took me a while to figure out how to draw the card. I missed a couple times. I didn't realize the draw was on the top because I just see these things here, and Just trying to figure it out, but let us ink this Be Our Guest. There's a chance this game I just play out these heavy cards and kind of go from there, but we'll see. Interesting, kind of with this kind of deck there, playing out Beast Mirrors, trying to find out what your opponent's trying to do. Okay, so they are going to make me discard some cards. Let's keep my options open, discard a Smash and a Stitch. I'm not being the most aggressive I could be. I think the only card we missed out on being aggressive with was one of the Lilos. Speak of the devil there, Lilo. I'm kind of very hesitant to play a Lilo out and hold both these, so I'm going to play the Lilo out because it's not going to do anything else this game really, and I'm going to ink the Tinkerbell because I don't want to get them to have another You Have Forgotten Me. I think that I'd rather have the Stitch to refuel than the Tinkerbell here because Steel doesn't have too many ways to deal with five butt cards, and I don't think we've seen another color yet. Oh, Steel and Amber. So yeah, those things are there. Certainly good. All right, grab your sword. Okay, so they're out of gas, except they do have 2 Beast Mirrors, and we have a Stitch, and that is worth inking our Ariel for. Even though it wouldn't be too bad to play out and hope to find something else and play this next turn, I think getting this going is a little bit more important. Right now all of our songs are live with Ariel. All of our 1-cost and 2-cost cards are live with Stitch. So we really have a lot of really good top decks. There's one of them. So I'm going to not just draw and discard. I don't think it makes a difference. But I'm going to do this. So, okay, that's good. Let's draw the Be Our Guest. I'm just going to play it from hand, I believe. Don't want to sing it out just yet. Okay. If I'd sung out with Ariel, I could have played the Simba and Exerted. Maybe that was better, actually. Yeah, thinking about it again. Let's draw. I guess I'm going to draw the cheapest one. And I don't want to draw something that's going to be vulnerable to a Tinkerbell at the top, so let's keep the Stitch there. Oh, where'd it go? I don't know what just happened. Might have been a technical glitch there. I thought I selected the card and hit draw, but guess it timed out. That's a little unfortunate. Some of the nuances of the game, it's not perfect, but it is pretty good as far as gameplay goes, so I'm not too unhappy about having to do something like that. Yeah, this getting tagged is fine. It lets me trade off an Ariel if I want to. Them getting to use Beast Mirror a bunch is getting a little bit too cumbersome here. Ooh, grab your sword. That's nice. Yeah, I will cast the grab your sword. Don't need to sing it here because I'm just going to quest with everything. And I don't have any other resources to do anything. But nope, that was enough for them. Grab your sword off the top. Nice way to finish out the game. Yeah, I don't know what happened there with the bug potential, but who knows. Let's play another game, get this going. I like the deck so far. There's been interesting tension points of inkable versus non-inkable. I think you should be pretty conservative with how you mulligan, especially in best of 3. Mainly because in best of 1, you might have to get a little lucky, keep some cards that you don't want in matchups because you don't know what you're playing against. Some really aggressive decks you might want to keep, some crushes and keep a grab your sword, then accidentally get a little bit flooded with uninkables. But I think in best of 3, which a lot of, from I can tell, competitive play is going to be, you don't need to do that too much. It's nice to be a little conservative and keep some hands that aren't, keep some inkable cards that aren't too much. I think it's tough again. I don't like the Lantern here. Lanterns felt pretty awkward because without a way to sing out the 5-cost cards, you really need to be able to hit your ink, and Lantern doesn't help cast the 5s. One card I've noticed not looking particularly hot for me. Especially not playing the full 4 Tinkerbells. But I think I'm going to keep this hand. I probably should mulligan to get... Yeah, I'm just going to shift the uninkables. I really want to find something that costs 1 here. Okay, Lilo's good. Going second, not as good. I think we've gone second every time. But yeah, against a Pocket Watch deck. Okay. Amethyst something. Let us start here. I'm going to ink a Prince Eric. And I think I'm going to play a Goons out. Because if they pass on the second turn, I can play a Lilo. If I play something else out, I can play the Eric. But Lilo, as you can already tell, I went second, and it's the first turn, and this card already doesn't do anything. I already wish it was an inkable card. Any inkable card, really, because the rest of my hand's pretty good. So that's been my philosophy playing against a lot of decks here, is that these cards are just not quite good enough. They're fine, but they're not, what I think you should be focusing on. So if I quest here, I force this trade because they don't want to trade with their Gaston. But I don't know if I want to do that either. I guess I probably should. Yeah, we'll quest. Tinkerbell is not the effect we really want in this matchup. I'm going to play out maybe nothing. Eric doesn't look very good because if these two trade, then Eric doesn't ever get a quest against Gaston. I might just hold it to be Ink. In which case, this should just come down because maybe it pairs with getting to Lore, and then Tinkerbell helps finish it off, the big Tink. But that's several turns down the line, and who knows what could happen in the meantime. As you can see, a lot of people are playing the brooms now to kind of help in mirror matches with Crimson. I call it Crimson. It's Amber and, it's Ruby and Amethyst. I call it Crimson. I don't know, just my name for the color pair. But the brooms are really for mirror matches, and the best part about inkable cards is they're just ink. You don't really have to do too much, and it's kind of nice. All right, we found a card to hit. Be our guest. Can't really play or quest with this, and luckily for us, this color pair doesn't have too many ways to just deal one damage so easily. They have big sweeping effects like Maui and Maleficent, the 9-cost Maleficent, and Dragonfire, Be Prepared, help sweep up these kind of things, but they don't have ways to deal with it early, and that's kind of their bane in some way. There's a Tinkerbell. Okay, so in a couple turns we might be able to do that. I'm going to play this out here because if we draw a Grab Your Sword, I can use this to sing it out and then quest with my Lilo. So let's do this first. All right, no Grab Your Sword, but we did hit another Be Our Guest, which is good. Be Our Guest is a fine card. I'm going to use this area to challenge the Maleficent, forcing their Gaston to hit. This might beat out a Maui, which would be nice, because they don't want to trade their Gaston to this, essentially giving me a 2-for-1 in that sense. Though they got a card out of their Maleficent, so they're not too worried. But yeah, I would expect to either see a Maui here based off the games played if I was playing against someone I knew was very confident, or competent, not confident. They could be confident, but not competent. Who knows? But yeah, that's not unexpected. We have a crush for that. All right. So let us. I kind of just want to crush this. Ink here. Do I just want to not play Be Our Guest? I don't really want to play this Eric out, is what I'm coming to the conclusion of. And I can play this here, but I don't really... I mean, there's a tiny chance I miss or find, only uninkables, where my next turn's pretty good to just play out a Tinkerbell if I quest here, because I crush here. And as I said, use the Lilo in tandem with the Gaston, in tandem with the Tinkerbell to kill Gaston. And I think that it's enough to where I would quest the Ariel too and not be too worried. I'm just going to hold this to be ink. I know it's, a small chance, but I really just want a card to be ink, and I don't want to ink these things. So I could miss, but I don't think I'm gaining much by finding a card that is inkable but different. So, yep, looks like that trades there. That's fine. Casting Frenzy on the other side after attacking. Not the fan. Gotta sequence these things. Every Hearthstone player will tell you tap first with Warlock. That could have been our card that we drew. That's also kind of what I was getting at here. All right, so let's shift out this Tink, or not shift out, just play out this Tink. No shift involved. Takes care of the Gaston. So we use Lilo and the usually irrelevant trigger from Tinkerbell when it comes down to take out a Gaston, which is the best we could really hope for from Lilo in this matchup, I would say, when we were facing a Gaston going second. I'm pretty interested. I think they announced that November 17th is going to be the official set release for set 2. So I'm kind of interested to see what we're going to get more of and we'll get less of, and what's coming down the pipeline for the game. Interesting here. Interesting would be is if I play out an ink here this turn or not. I think I can hold it, but I might, since I know next turn is going to be Stitch plus Lilo, and I'm going to just play Tinkerbell out here to take care of this. It's likely going to prompt to Be Prepared, so I want to, So my thought here is I'm going to do this no matter what. So let's just start here. Okay, that's gone. I'm going to quest. If they have a Maui, they have a Maui. I can ink here because I know I'm going to be doing this next turn. And I want to have a card draw. And if I've drawn for my turn an inkable card and a 1-cost card on top, I can get an extra card out of it. Where this card's always going to be an extra card. I think I'm going to ink it. My gut's telling me to ink it just for that purpose. And really, we need to see Be Prepared from them. An Ursula could be a nice setup because I wouldn't really want to play anything out if they play an Ursula here, and I can just quest with both these. Then they'd be able to sing Ursula, Be Prepared, sing Ursula for free, kind of go from there. That'd be a bit backbreaking, but who knows? All right, well, they've shown that they don't have to be prepared. I don't think that they could realistically do what they did without it. And I don't want to sing a whole new world this turn into it. So we'll do that if next turn they be prepared me. But right now we're going to ride this wave. Lantern, okay. Lantern continuing to not impress. I know it can power these out and you go Stitch into Lantern into Big Stitch. That's a really nut curve, really. But a lot of times you just don't have it in the early game. And yeah. All right, well, they had to be prepared. Little unfortunate for me here, but oh well. All right. The debate is if I play this Lantern out here, and I think I don't. I think I need to just whole new world because we have nothing to do here. And I want to have at least a couple of resources to play something out from my hand. It is risky at this point to give them extra things. They had a Dragonfire left over, but I had nothing going on. I can't really just sit here. Okay, nice. I'm going to get rid of the goons here. And we're just going to play out the aerial. We're going to keep the cards that Stitch can draw off of and kind of go from there. So we'll see what the next turn plays out. But I don't really like casting a whole new world in this situation where we just play it and can't do much with it, because giving them the first crack at using all that ink with all those new cards is really rough. Granted, their deck isn't the best to take advantage of a whole new world. They're a much bigger control deck. But they certainly have powerful cards and something to be considering when you're playing a whole new world is when to actually do it. We didn't really have a choice. We had 3 cards that didn't do anything, including a whole new world. But when you have a choice, maybe, change it up a little bit. So they have 4 cards left. We can whole new world. We can also grab your sword, which is nice. This is where I want to fire the cannons, because I want to be able to grab your sword for free, fire the cannons and then placing a bunch of cards out from my hand. That'd be nice, but no such luck in this version of the deck. I still am probably going to grab your sword, and we're not going to be whole new worlding here. So since our plan's going to be grab your swording, what else am I doing with my turn since I have 8 ink? I'm probably going to be playing this Simba out as ink, but I don't need to do that right this second. I can just play Stitch first, and I guess the question would be is if I want to use Lantern here. I think I do. I think it's going to be helpful later, a couple turns, just to help generate a bigger advantage. So let's select here to draw. Okay, so let's ink here. Draw again with this. And we're going to grab your sword to take care of that Gaston and deal some damage to the Mickey Mouse. It does leave the Captain Hook a little bit vulnerable to the Mickey Mouse, but I really just need to keep playing my cards out, Not at a point where I can really be too coy with what I'm doing. Next turn, I'm probably going to ink and then whole new world if my Stitch survives or my aerial survives, but it looks like they're going to be prepared here. Yeah. All right, so they didn't have too much going on. Weird not to be able to take advantage too hard of it there, but we'll see. All right, well, we get to play a Simba out for free here since we have an extra whole new world. Probably should use Lantern first, but okay. Let's ink here. And I could Simba, but I don't really want to give them anything to Big Aladdin into. They can shift into it, so I'm just going to whole new world here. They discard the 2 cards they had left, Maui and Dragonfire. Believe it goes in card order like that, so. Okay. So let's make it cheaper. Play an aerial out. Draw or be our guests. And I guess I'll get another Lantern going. Quest here. And Simba lets me potentially draw into another Simba, or another Stitch, sorry, Stitch. Draw into a Stitch I can shift onto. We've gone through 2 Stitches, I believe. Yeah, 2 Stitches, so we have still 2 left in our 20 cards. We're getting pretty long cards, so they're 32. I don't know if they're playing more than 30, but we'll see. So that's 14 plus 8 is 22, 25. 25 plus 32 is 57. So 56 plus 11. Yeah, they're playing 66 cards. Could have noted that when the game started. I'm not a big fan of playing more than 60 cards, to be honest, especially when you're playing brooms. That's kind of the point of the broom, to not have to do that, but who knows. All right, this isn't the worst. They're going to be able to take out some of my characters here. A little unfortunate, but Kind of made hilarious use of these magic mirrors here since they don't do much. Yeah. I think I just had to play everything out. I don't really have much of an option here. Ink to be our guest. I guess I'll draw first from this. I don't actually want to draw because I don't have as many cards left, and I'm just trying to get as many things into play as possible. And because of that, I'm actually just not even going to play the Simpa out because it costs 2. I guess I should have lanterned that out. What'd they discard? Discarded. Ooh, Maleficent, Ursula, Elsa, 4 or 3. Okay, so we can use this turn to take out the Elsa, which is nice. Keep that off the board. Let's just play, I guess, this out to see what we get. Again, I'm not going to draw. I only have 12 cards left. And how many Be Prepared have they gone through? 1, only 1. All right, a little bit risky. I'm going to have to hold this one. It might be right to just hold it anyway instead of a Stitch to kind of gas up a little bit, but we're getting thin on resources. This is kind of how their game wants to play out. There's the Be Prepared. They have the Pocket Watch kind of set up there. They have more cards in deck, so we're going to deck out first. We can't really break through a lot of what they got going on. They are down, 3 Dragonfires and 2 Maleficents, 2 Be Prepared, so there's still some things going on, but they may have a Broom or 2 to put some stuff back in. We'll see. The Queen, that's fine. All right, so let's, I guess we'll just double. You should always do this first, in all honesty. There's no reason not to do it first when you're just playing stuff out. All right. Ink that here, and I'm just hoping there's no other Be Prepared because I don't really have much else to do. I can't do anything else here. We're kind of just hope you don't have it mode. If their turn starts with just drawing a card, then Be Preparing, we're probably going to lose. But this is the only way we can realistically win the game is by playing just a bunch of things out and hoping it works out. Friends on the other side to start kind of has me hopeful. I would imagine they'd the Queen first, but maybe they have some other removal spell to pair and kind of take care of it. But okay, these things aren't getting killed. That's nice. The order there is a little bit off, but hey. Okay, Grab Your Sword looks oddly good right now. Nice. Jetsam. I think people are playing Jetsam because there's a Emerald, Ruby kind of evasive deck people are playing, and they're kind of playing that to check since it's inkable, which is kind of nice. Okay. So again, we're just in the situation where we're going to play all our things out, hope it works out. I'm going to quest, Grab Your Sword, and I'm just going to Grab Your Sword again. Excuse me. Question is if I play the Tinkerbell out, and I think I just do. There's no real reason to start playing around things. And this does not work, just so you know. Reducing the cost of Lantern does not trigger Stitch. It's just cost reduction for how much you have to pay to play it, not actually the casting cost of the card, which this checks how much it actually costs. But this is unlikely to work out since any character plus the Pocket Watch is going to do some damage here. But yeah. All right. Elsa, okay. Elsa can challenge, but it can't take out the Stitch immediately. And if they do challenge, then they get to, then they're going to get smashed. All right, they lock down these 2, and then they Dragonfire. That's the 4th one, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Taking out the Tinkerbell there is a little annoying. It means I can't use Smash to deal with that. I can use 2 Smashes, but I think I'm just going to pass here. Well, taking out this is pretty nice. All right, I guess I have to do everything I can to potentially keep this Stitch alive. I don't think it's very likely, but I think the only way I win is by using every single piece of the kill there. So we'll see. Ursula, okay. Writing's kind of on the wall here. Don't think we can get back into this point. The Elsa turn there really spun how the game was going to play to the point where I don't think we could recover. Elsa's a very powerful card, and White Rabbit's Pocket Watch is a great card. I think in the set review, I thought it was going to be one of the undersung cards when I initially did the set review a few weeks ago. It's just inkable, which is a baseline for any card that is situationally great. which it is at this point of the game, situationally great. And it just allows them to have complete control of the game. Okay. Interesting that they didn't kill this. Okay, well. I draw my card here. Okay. I don't really have much of a choice since they can tap anything anyway, so let's just quest for 3 and play a Tink. Does a little bit of work, but I don't think we're getting there at this one. I can't imagine what their hand is that they can't answer this board here. I mean, just singing and Be Prepared would be absurd. Like, granted, they only have... I've seen lists with playing 3. I still like playing 4 in versions I've seen, but those are also ones that max out on Ursula and don't really have Elsa at all. But yeah, they've played 2 Be Prepared, so there's a chance that they don't get one, and they've played all 4 Dragonfires. I haven't seen many Maui. I've seen 2 Maui, I guess. But who knows? All right, Stitch looks like he's biting the dust here. Can't really do much about that. Had to get that 3 questing going on. The 3 lore is pretty impactful, and anything they play from their hand can really take down this board state. Currently, if you just look at it on board, I can attack the Ursula and kill the Elsa, and that looks good for me. But they are the one who has 15 ink, a bunch of cards, and now an Aladdin. Aladdin, reducing my ink is going to be a bit much. Now, there's no cards yet that just gain lore. There's no, cards that essentially have haste from magic or, reckless but conquest, if you want to think of it that way. Interesting they wouldn't play that one out. I think I would have played that one out just in case, but you never know. Stitch. Good dog. All right, I'm going to hit here, and I don't even know. I got to hit this thing, I think, so that I can actually kill it. And, yep, that's kind of all she wrote. I don't think it's come back from this one. I'm going to let them finish me off here. We get to see the whole list there, but this matchup seems interesting. You could certainly play less of the kind of cheap cards like the goons and stuff to make it a little bit more impactful. Lantern still hasn't been the most impressive. It's okay, and it's pretty good in most decks of the whole new world just because of the ability to play out things for cheaper. But you get to the stage of the game, most of the time the Ruby Amethyst deck is going to be able to take control of what's going on. Bunch of magic mirrors, pocket watch, the queen drawing cards. Lilo is not going to be enough. Elsa's ensuring that's not enough, and also is Aladdin. Aladdin's a nice combo to stop someone from just winning the game, and there you go. All right, we're done here. Nice deck, fun time playing this deck. It definitely does a lot here, as you can see the list once again. I do like it. I like a lot what's going on. I would probably want to max out on the Tinkerbells. I wouldn't really like Simba if I were to adjust some things. I don't like Simba and the goons. I like Lilo, Stitch, and Captain Hook as your ones. Maybe play some... I don't know. There's some cards you can play. I think what people haven't quite grasped there is you want to play sideboard cards main deck. So against decks like this where we really need some late game pressure, you need to have cards that cost maybe 6 or 7, but they're inkable. So the 7 cost Simba is a reasonable card. It helps take down pretty much anything. It challenges anything that they play in their deck as a finisher and trades effectively. I think it's a 4/6, and when it's challenging and can challenge evasive, it hits for 8. So that's a huge amount of attack there. 4 Grab Your Sword, 4 Whole New World. I get you want to pair with Ariel pretty well. Singing those out, it's a pretty powerful combination. I haven't been the biggest on Grab Your Sword, especially since you do have a lot of early interaction. I'd rather have 4 Tinkerbells before I played a 4th Grab Your Sword. Tinkerbells are just phenomenal, and they do so much, especially against people who are still learning how to kind of play around certain things. But yeah, I like the deck. Hope you guys did too. Again, I want to know favorite Disney character, favorite Disney movie. Gotta tell me in the comments there. But thanks again for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. We're probably going to do some prep work over the next month for the 5K, the Lost Boys tournament there at Apex Gaming in Ohio. So look for the link to the live Twitch stream when that's happening. Probably when it gets closer to it, I'll have more links and maybe some little graphics to help with directing people over there if they want to watch. But no, it's going to be a lot of fun. Take care. You have a great rest of your week. Bye, guys.